Well, I got it running after stripping it down and refacing it. It's got a lot of wear. It was used a lot, so that's a good thing. And the surprising thing is here, we are running off of its boiler. I did fill it with a little water with the exhaust at first, but then I hooked up the exhaust line. And it runs pretty dry. It does leak out the sides of the piston when it's starting up. But the prop is spinning nicely. I can move the rudder without fouling the prop. So that will be RC. Can turn quite tight, so I don't need reverse maybe. Have to be careful. I think I can get a reverse for this motor. It still starts a lot. It doesn't need a lot of coaxing to start once it's heated up. And that's starting it from coal or stop. If it's in the right position, I guess. We'll learn that. Anyways, there you go. And now let's take a look at the boiler. If I don't wipe out here. I got the sight glass fixed. It was broken. It was 5mm. I have to work on the sealing a bit. I'm using a rubber Viton O-ring for that, and it was full of water when I opened it. So I sort of had a good idea it didn't leak. And I've put some oil in, but I have to put displacement lubricator in line here. It does have a proper smokestack, and it has 3 fire tubes actually, which makes it quite an advanced boiler as far as I'm concerned. It has a beautiful gauge that I cleaned up. I don't recommend opening these gauges if they're too tight and those small screws don't loosen it off. Then don't try prying the case off. If it's dirty inside, just live with it. But I cleaned the front and got all that working. Now I got these valves working. They were locked up completely and in a closed position when the glass broke, I guess. This was locked up as well. It looks like a Stewart drain cock. There was a bolt for the filler cap, which is holding. It has some kind of weird safety valve here. I'm not sure how it works, but it does come on at higher pressures. We're now approaching, I think, about 10 psi. The actual feed works well too, so I could probably hook up a RC servo to that, but I will have to start it manually. Otherwise, this boiler is excellent. I think it is copper. I'm not sure. It could be brass, but I'm colorblind, so I can't tell. And, yeah, there's the sight glass working. So we'll keep the boiler. I'm not going to keep the meth burner because it's leaking like crazy. And I think that's probably what stopped the boat, was some kind of leaking fire thing happening. Because there seems to be a lot of fire residue at the front of the boat, as well as some resoldering that was done years ago. Otherwise, the boat is completely rugged. That's all I can say. And it will be a really smooth boat in the water, I think, because of its weight. So here we're going to get it up to power and up to pressure here. And we'll run the engine once again. And then we'll shut it down for the night. I've done enough work on this. UPS tried to break it and destroy it on its way here from England, but they weren't able to, so, and there we go. Beautiful little engine. Just an amazing little engine. All cast bronze base and stanchion arm. Very nice brass piston cylinder with this unscrewable bottom for servicing, as well as a proper gland nut. Brass flywheel. Pin connection to the rudder. No hard fixed line. Sounds just wonderful. And it's sealed. It does leak a little bit through the prop in the water, but we can O-ring that up, I'm sure, and get it quite well sealed. If not, we'll route the water underneath the boiler and it'll get burned away as far as that goes. So little leaks. And we'll be recoating the bottom of the boat anyways, so that will be the only leaking spot. Anyways, there's the fire flue. Runs up into the stack. And my budget tugboat is on the way to getting back in the water after 100 years or 80 years, who knows. Have a good night, guys.